I am so excited about today's video. I haven't even had a chance to grab my tripod to set it up. It's an unboxing video and I'm super excited to get started. I'm standing in front of my YouTube and graphic design studio setup, which is here, with my graphics tablet and keyboard and mouse and microphone and dual monitors. But this is going to change very quickly from this into this. Look, a brand new 34-inch curved monitor. Now, before I get into all the details about this, let's get back in time and unbox her. Okay, let's get to the unboxing. Oh, there she is. For the camera, there we go. So I have an MSI Optics curved LED gaming monitor. Now I don't game, but I have found that gaming equipment works very, very well for graphic design stuff. So that's what I tend to go for. Okay, let's unbox this bad boy. Why is everything unboxing nowadays anyway? Whatever happened to just opening something? Why do you have to unbox it? Anywho, got my trusty Leatherman wave. I'm going to carefully cut through here. Oh, very satisfying. Check contents. Alright. Get rid of him. This is the worst part. I don't know if you're the same, but I hate polystyrene squeaking. Right, in here, oh, there's more tape. And we have that looks like the stand. And then here, clips, instruction book, which we again know what we can do with that. And let's slide her out. Right, let's go this way. Oh, it's almost like they don't want me to get it out of here. Right, I think I see the problem. The handles on the inside are stopping it from sliding out. So let's get them there. Oh, look at that. It was the handles. Right, you can go over there. Here it is. Time to unveil. Oh, wow. Okay, that's very anticlimactic because it's got the cover on, but it looks amazing so far. Oh, okay, I'm going to spin her around so she's facing the right way. And carefully take her out of there. Move that back. There. Okay, power cable and base stand. Wow, look at that. Woo. That is one pretty looking monitor, look at that. So the whole idea behind this is I'm going from 2 monitors now to 1, so I can fit everything on here. All right, well, now that that's out of the box, we've got power cable there. Then we have a back bracket. I'm assuming that screws onto the monitor, and that's in the base, which is here. So that would go, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that goes in there, that goes on the monitor that way, and we're good to go. All right, so let's get it set up now and back to the desk. Okay, so here we are all set up. Ain't she pretty? So I'm on the MSI website, so I can go through a few of the details with you. I've hooked her up. That's a boring bit, so I'm not going to go through that. You plug in the HDMI cable, you plug in the power, you turn it on, and boom, off we go. Now I did have to set the resolution on this, and as we can see now under display settings, we are set to 3440 by 1440, which is the WQ, no it's not, UWQ HD, which I'll go through with you in a minute. Now I'm not going to go into all the technical bits and pieces because again, that's pretty boring. I'll just give you the basic overview and sort of how it looks and the features that it has. It takes up a huge amount on my desk, where the two monitors were just here. I've got the whole thing now, which is fantastic. It's a really crisp picture. It's kind of hard to see on the camera there, I guess, but it's super sharp and I'm really vibing it right now. So I'm on the MSI website for the monitor overview, and this is the Optics Mag 341CQ monitor. If you're interested, it's a 34-inch variant. So on the main page here, it goes through the information that it has. So curved gaming display, 1080R, best gameplay immersion, UWQ HD high resolution, 100 Hz refresh rate with a 3440 by 1440 resolution at 21.9 aspect ratio, anti-flicker, less blue light, and 178 degree wide angle. So we'll go through those in just a second, just so you know what they are, and we'll have just a bit of an overview of everything here. So that's it there. The Mag 341CQ, expand your perspective. Bring next level of immersion and gameplay, etc. Now I've explained that I don't use this for gaming, I use graphic design and video editing, but for me this is exactly what I wanted out of a monitor. Nice big wide viewing angle so that I can see everything in more detail rather than split over two screens. Some of the features this has is why I went for a gaming monitor as opposed to a standard monitor, which we'll go through right now. So we'll skip on to this bit here. So MSI Curved Gaming. It's a curved monitor, gives you a better viewing angle. UWQ HD, if you're interested, is ultra wide quad HD. So quad HD is 4 times higher than normal HD, and ultra wide angle as opposed to 4K. 4K is, I can't remember now, but anyway, it's kind of a cross between full HD and 4K with the ultra wide here, and that's what plays into the 21.9 aspect ratio. Now if you're aware of a standard normal monitor, what I had here before was 16:9. Most TVs and stuff you had are 16:9. This is 21:9, so ultra wide angle. The 1800R is 1800 millimeters of radius, which is the depth of the angle of the curve itself. PIP and PPB, so picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture we'll go into in a minute, which you can do on the software that you can download, which is quite neat. So if I do want to have the dual monitor set up, this can do it. And 100 Hz refresh rate, which is basically how many times per second it refreshes, which we'll go into again a little bit more detail in a sec. So now this, okay, we were just talking about this. So as you can see, a normal widescreen monitor that people have here, 1920 by 1080, which as you've probably heard referred to as just 1080 or 1080p, sometimes 1080i. The difference, if you're not aware, between the P and the I at the end is progressive, and interlaced is how it displays the image, how it refreshes everything. So progressive, it starts from the top, I believe, and does it one line after itself, and interlaced it does odd lines and even lines or something like that. So progressive and interlaced. So 1080, 1920 by 1080 is full HD. Quad HD, 2560 by 1440. Now this is 1440, but it's 3440 by 1440. So it's like the Quad HD 16:9, but ultra wide at 21:9. Next one is, yes, this. Now picture-in-picture mode is quite clever. So one thing you can get from this website here, the MSI website, is their display kit on here. So this goes through a bunch of different things. A split window, display settings where you can change the resolution and so on, and refresh rate and bit count and all that sort of stuff. Color settings, now I've set my custom color settings here to what I want, and then you can pick different things for standard, gaming, FPS, RTS RPG, cinema, and iSaver, and you can swap between the ones that you find better for your eyes, whatever you're doing. So my personal settings are here, which is what I prefer. And then other tools in here, pointer speed and on-screen keyboard and so forth, other bits you want to play with. But the split window is quite neat. So on here you can split by side, top and bottom, large panel on the left, too small on the right, and vice versa. But if, for example, I want to pick, if I'm working on a video or some Photoshop stuff, I can pick Photoshop as my first screen, I can pick Premiere Pro as my second screen, then I can hit apply, and it will bring them both up on here. So as you can see here on Premiere Pro on the right hand side, this is the video I'm currently working on right now. And over here on Photoshop we can have a look, and what does that say there? What does that say? Subscribe to Steve's Little Bit of Everything. Oh, wow, that's quite neat. Anyway, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and you can have the split. You can pick any of these by simply going to any of the open tasks you have here, selecting 1 and 2. I'm gonna hit clean, which takes it back to nothing, and I can just simply minimize out of my windows and go back to where I was. So that's a really cool little feature. Then we're talking about here, which we just touched on, the 1800R, again, 1800 millimeters of radius, explains how the curve, how deep the curve is. You can Google it and go into a bit more detail if you want to, but it's basically how curved the screen is, which is here. So from the top view, this is what it looks like, and a standard flat screen monitor. And it's curved. 178 degrees, simply is the viewing angle. With 178 degree viewing angle, sort of almost means that in lay terms that you could almost be standing sideways to the monitor and still see all the colors just as detailed. This was a lot more obvious back in the day when we had LCD screens, where you'd sort of walk to the side and then the screen would just go black. It's the viewing angle. So this is a 178 degree viewing angle, which means you can see it from virtually anywhere in the room. Color performance, 110% sRGB. Now I looked into this and it confused the crap out of me, but basically what it's saying is there's several different gamut color systems out there. There's NTSC, there's sRGB, and there's Adobe RGB, which seems to be the best one. And from what I gather, in very simple terms, the higher this number, the more colors it has that you can see, in as basic terms as possible. So it has 110% sRGB, so more colors means better, like especially for what I'm doing. It says here creative work such as high resolution images, so if you're like photo editing things, you need a really good color gamut, then this does the job very, very well. 100 Hertz refresh rate, how many times it refreshes the image per second. Again, in simple terms, if you think about it from an animated movie, animated movies generally are 24 frames a second. You have to draw 24 images to get 1 second, so technically they'd be 24 Hertz, 24 frames per second. This is 100, so it refreshes 100 frames per second, or 100 Hertz, and it gives a much smoother, sharper image and less motion blur, because it's filling in the details quicker. Adjust on the fly. This is the bit of software that I just showed you then, which is their desktop software that allows you to swap around and change things, which is really cool. Anti-flicker, again, one thing you tend not to notice, but if you do suffer with this and you get the sort of headaches from staring at a screen too long because of the flickering, you get it with like fluorescent lights. Some people are more sensitive than others, so anti-flicker technology allows that to be reduced, so there's less fatigue on your eyes, which is great, especially if you're like me and you sit in front of the computer all day long. Blue light again, reduction of blue light, again helps with eye strain, which is nice. And then we come down to the very bottom here, which is the technical specs. So weighs 7.1 kilo, decent weight, I guess, I don't know. On the back, it's very straightforward. There's like any other monitor, you've got a DVI input, a HDMI input, and a DisplayPort input, a power adapter. Then on the back panel here, I won't spin the monitor around because it's already set up now, but this black plastic thing pops off, and then you can feed your cables through. They pop out here, and then you can feed them straight through the center bar off to your computer itself. Now this, the back and the stand are actually made of metal, which is quite neat because a lot of display stands for monitors are plastic, but it's metal, which is really nice, really sturdy, very, very solid. And that is about it. So that's all the features. And there was something else I was going to mention that didn't seem to pop up. Where is it? Right at the beginning. Because this is for an ultra wide 100 Hz. No, we covered it all. So this is it. This is the Optics Mag 341CQ monitor. That's it. I'm not going to give it an elbow review yet because I haven't really used it much, but maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll do the elbow review at a later date with my overall rundown of how I found it. But in the meantime, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you're thinking about getting a curved monitor, this one is a cracker and I highly recommend. Any questions, comment below, and whilst you're there, hey, hit that subscribe button, chuck me a like, chuck me a thumbs up and all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video, whatever it may be.